Well, good afternoon all. Got a late start today because it has been pouring the rain down out there. It finally let up and I got it warm enough in the shop now that I can do something. So, I'm going to do a little experiment. No loss, no foul. Got a tip on if you don't have crimpers big enough to crimp 4/0 lugs. This is a 5/16 nut, and I took a hacksaw and I cut one in half. I've got it in the vise with the lug. So now we're going to put the wire into the lug. Try to get it all in there at once without pushing the lug down. A bit more. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Get all the way down. Alright. And then we're going to tighten the vise up on that lug using the split nut. Alright, let's see what we got. Well, gotta get the other half of that off. I might have to get a pliers, hang on. Alright, put the lug back in the vise so I can use pliers to try to get the other half of that nut off there. There it goes. That wasn't too bad. And let's take a look at what we did. Well, I mean, in a pinch, but I think I will solder this also. So to solder, I put a nut around the rubber insulation, and then we heat the bottom of the terminal up. I've already got some solder in there, but I want to put a little bit more. Heat it up till I see it starting to flow. Yep, that should be good. And we let it cool down, take the nut off, and work on the other end. Alright, well I can tell you that is a very solid soldered connection and crimped. And all left to do is we're going to put some heat shrink over it and make it look pretty. Alright, here's one end done. So we're going to run down. I want to have a standoff on that bolt, and then we're going to come under the engine, use the engine mounting bolts to put another standoff, and I want to mark the wire where the starter is, right there. Alright. So I'm just confirming the length right there. So that's where we're going to cut this one and put another terminal there. This cable should carry a lot more amperage than this cable to the starter. Okay, let's see if this method is repeatable now. So make sure you put your heat shrink on first. And then we're going to feed the cable into, needs to be a little bit. Alright, we're all the way in, and compress. we have a crimp. Okay, I'm going to solder this end also. Alright, we have one very skookum battery cable made, and I've got enough cable left over to redo the starter cable. But for now, I want to work on the throttle cable. Well, I was buffing out the throttle, and I got to looking, and I took a picture, and we got fast, picture of a rabbit, the word throttle, picture of a turtle, and then slow. So I printed this decal out. Now I'm going to cut it out and make sure the size is right, and then I can print this on clear adhesive backing. And yeah, spent a little time. I had to go find some pictures, and yeah, let's see how this fits. Okay, so this is the one that I saw the decal one, and I do believe that's going to work. So this will be clear, and then it'll match the dash because we got red letters on the dash. So yeah, decal's done. All right, so yeah, this has turned out pretty good. I've got new hardware for it, mounting hardware, and the cable latch. I did take the other one apart, so we're going to save on this stuff here for now, because we've got two knobs. And now the next step is to make this cable the same length as this one. Now this one's free, so I can actually pull the end down there. So that one's flush, and that way I can measure this. But first we're going to get this. And to do that, what we have to do is cut one end off of this cable. Alright, so I can measure my length again, make sure I cut it right. Couldn't remember if it was the one that fell on the ground. Nope, it's this one. Okay, so now I need to run this wire back in. So I think for this next step, I'm going to put this in the vise. So I got a third hand, basically a third hand. Okay, so I put both cables in the vise. The reason I want to do that is make sure these ends are facing the same way. And then on this end, I can see how I need to make the bend. So I'm going to cut this long to make these bends, and then we'll end up shortening it up to it's that length. So this is the spare piece of cable, and I decided to use it to practice on to get this bend. And I took a variety of pliers, but came up with these little ones. I can get in there and do a tight bend. So that looks good, but yeah, I can actually make two throttle cables out of that one kit I bought. So now we can go over and work on getting the bends on that one right. Okay, the first bend is easy. It's this second bend that's going to be a pain. Okay, this is try number 2. I've got the first bend, but I'm going to hold off on that second bend to see if you guys think I need to heat that wire up or what. Because as I was trying to get that bend right on the other cable, that happened. Bending it real tight, you have a chance of breaking it off. So yeah, this one's going to be too short to use as far as the wire goes. So I'm going to stop this here. It's getting close to supper time, and I'll see what you guys think on making that second bend. Thanks for watching.